Hey friends, I'm here to talk about my experience on Royal Caribbean. This is my first time going on Royal Caribbean. 5 things I loved and 5 things I wish they could change up a little bit. So this was my first time aboard Royal Caribbean. I went in September with a group of 16. I had planned the trip for our group. We were on the Oasis of the Seas and we left out of Bayonne, New Jersey, which is in North Jersey. The cruise port is called the Cape Liberty Cruise Port. So let's get into what I loved. The first thing I loved on Royal Caribbean was the app. It was convenient. It had all the information we were looking for. It was really a one-stop shop. You could see the floor deck plans. You could see all the activities. You could make reservations. It really provided a very easy way to understand what was happening on the ship, prepare accordingly, and still be able to use the app the entire time we were on the ship. They also had in-text messaging without an additional charge, which was awesome. So I could contact anyone in my group whenever I needed to, really. And there was a slight delay, but it wasn't anything crazy. Like I think we tested it and it was about 1 to 2 minute delay for the message to come through. But it was great and it was nice to be able to use it without an additional charge to talk to people. Second thing I loved was the embarkation process. Now, really, the embarkation process was simplified because everything was available in the app. You could check in on the app before you got there. You could do your health safety videos before you got there. So that made things a lot easier at the cruise port. We went through security and then we just had to go through, of course, the check in line. That was not that long of a wait, maybe like 5 to 10 minutes. But then once we got up there to the people, man, it took like 2 to 3 minutes, if even that. There was nothing for them to really do. And they didn't make us redo anything that we already did in the app, which I really appreciated. Third thing I love was the Taste of Royal. This was a culinary lunch experience where you got to taste dishes from the different specialty restaurants across Royal Caribbean's fleet. It allowed us to really sample from the specialty restaurants without having to go to all of them. So if you don't want to pay to go to all the specialty restaurants, even though I love the specialty restaurants, you got to at least try a number of different things over this one lunch. It happened during a sea day, which I also thought was perfect. And I would highly recommend it. I think it cost like $35 per person, but it seemed well worth it for what we were getting. Fourth thing I loved was the entertainment. There's just so much on Royal Caribbean. And I guess that makes sense because the ship is so big, but they have an ice skating rink. So you get to see an ice skating show. They have the aqua theater, so you can see divers and all these amazing I just made that up. Water aerobics. Water, what do we call that? The water show. It was amazing nonetheless. But even outside of that, there's the flow rider where you can go and watch people as they do like the waterboarding and all these other cool activities. There's the giant slide. There's just so many different things. Like you're not just going to have the activity of sitting in a theater to watch a show. There's a lot of different pieces of entertainment that you can find while you're on the ship. It was like supersized entertainment. Fifth thing I loved, CocoCay, Bahamas. This is Royal Caribbean's private island, and I think they did a really good job on this private island. You have your chill beach areas, you have multiple beaches, you have private cabanas that you have to pay additional for. You have the water park that you also have to pay additional for. You have like a kids play area. You also have the pool area that's more of a party. Yeah, that area was lit. You could literally spend all day on Royal Caribbean's private island having a great time. I truly, truly enjoyed CocoCay. Now let's talk about the things I wasn't so in love with, the complimentary dining options. So you have your buffet, of course. You have your main dining hall, of course, or main dining room, of course. But then you had a couple of cafes. You have a hot dog spot and a pizza spot. I don't know. I would have just liked a little bit more, preferably like a pub. The cruise line that I'm usually on has a 24-hour pub, and I really, really miss that. I would just like another like just restaurant that has a variety of foods that I can go to outside of only having a pizza option or a hot dog option or a cafe. The rooms, those things are tiny. Now, I'm small. I'm tall, but I'm pretty skinny. And I felt like I wasn't going to fit in the showers. So that's a problem. So the rooms are small, the showers are small. And my thing is, I get it. The ship is really designed so that you are focused on the amenities and being out and about and enjoying yourself amongst everything that's happening. But can I get a bigger shower? Please? I'm not asking for much, I feel. When Royal Caribbean has the theme parties, they tend to have them in the promenade, which is one of the main areas that you walk through. And if you're not really interested in going to that party, it's very hard to get through that area. And that's a very high foot traffic area. It probably connects a lot of things. So to not be able to walk through there smoothly, is a little annoying during those parties, but not the biggest deal. Let's circle back to this whole dining thing. Food is not available after like 10 p.m. And I love a good midnight snack, especially on vacation. But everything was kind of closed for eating by like 10. And even the buffet, they would kick us out like I feel like 15 minutes before it was actually, or the food would start disappearing about 15 minutes before they actually supposed to close. So I really, really wish there was like either a 24-hour place to dine or just some places just stayed open later so that you could grab something at 11, 12, 1, 2. The biggest dislike that I have was the disembarkation process, which is crazy because I love the embarkation process. But disembarkation was a little strange. We were given particular times that our stuff would be off the ship, and then we had to depart by that time too. Then there was a cutoff time that everyone was supposed to be off the ship. The problem was, or I guess this is a problem, but a good thing for the ship, but it was a problem for a lot of us, was they moved the bags off the ship much faster than we expected. And then they were expecting everyone to get off of the ship at that faster speed. But people were getting breakfast. People were sitting around because they had their rides coming later because they were going based off of the times we were originally told. But Royal Caribbean was like a half an hour to an hour ahead of schedule. And then was kind of people were getting frustrated because we weren't getting off the ship. But it was like, you told us we had until this time to be off. Why are you kicking us off a whole hour before? And I understand they have to clean and another group is coming in. That's fine. But if that's the case, if you want us off the ship by a certain time, then give us that certain time. Don't give us a later time and then be mad that we're still on the ship and then start acting crazy about it. So I did not like that part at all. Those are the things I like. Those are the things I dislike. Would I recommend Royal Caribbean overall? Definitely. I think it's very affordable. I think it's great for families and groups who like different things. It was a great time. I enjoyed it. I would go on Royal Caribbean again. I would even do Oasis of the Seas again, but I'd also like to try a different ship just to see what the experience is like. So for me, it's a thumbs up. See you next time.